Okay, welcome to another con support video. This one will be on multiplying positive and negative fractions. So here we can see that one, multiplying positive and negative fractions. So I'm going to click on that, and we're going to try it and see how it goes. All right, so let's just take our little whiteboard out here, clear it off, and let's go through the practice together and make sure we're all comfortable. So it says 7/4, and you're multiplying that by 7/3. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to ask, are there any common factors in top and bottom? It's something on the top that we can cancel with the bottom, something that we can divide both top and bottom by. And 7 and 7 have no common factors with 4 and 3. So that means the answer is no. There are no common factors to cancel out. Then you're going to just multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. Okay? 7 times 7 is 49, and 4 times 3 is 12. Now you're going to ask yourself, how many times does 12 go into 49? So 12 times 4 would be 48. So that's 48 with one extra left over to make 49. So it's really 4 and 1/12. So the correct answer is going to be 4 and 1/12. So you put 4 space 1/12. And there's your answer. Okay? Now the next one we're going to do is 1/2 times negative 1/7. So we're going to do 1/2 times negative 1/7. So let's write that out. 1/2 times negative 1/7. Whenever you have a positive and a negative that you're dealing with here, I would resolve your sign first. So what is a positive times a negative? Positive times negative is always going to be a negative answer. If the signs are different, then the product is going to be a negative. Now that you've resolved your sign, you can ignore your sign. So now we don't have to pay attention to this negative sign anymore. Okay? 1/2 times 1/7. Are there any common factors at top and bottom? Nope. So then you just multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. 1 times 1 is 1. And 7 times 2 is 14. So the correct answer there is just negative 1/14. So you're going to go over here to your answer, put negative sign, and then space, and then 1/14. And there's your answer. Okay, next up, we're going to do the little multiplication here. It says negative 4/5 times a negative 7/6. So we got negative 4/5, and we're going to multiply negative, let me make that a little prettier for you guys, negative 4/5. I'm sorry. Times negative 7/6, okay? And the first thing you're going to do is decide what your sign is going to be. So a negative times a negative is a positive. Or when the sign is the same, the product is positive. So we know the answer is positive. Put a positive in a box. Now we can ignore the sign. That's really beautiful. Now we're going to look for anything we can cancel from the top and bottom, right? So common factors in the top and the bottom. So I'm looking at the 4 and the 7 and asking myself, is there any common factors with 5 and 6? And I see that 4 and 6 both have a common factor of 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. All right, now I'm seeing, are there any other common factors there? No. All right, so we're done. Now we can multiply across the top and across the bottom. So 2 times 7 is 14. We know that's going to be a positive, so we can ignore those negatives completely, right? And 5 times 3 is 15. So when you multiply across the bottom, you get 15. Across the top, you get 14. So your ultimate answer is 14/15. It's positive. So you go over here to your answer and you put 14/15 and you're done. Okay. Now for the next one, you're going to do negative 8/3 and we're going to multiply that by positive 1/4. So we've got negative 8/3. We're multiplying that. You can put a dot or an X, doesn't matter for multiplication, times 1/4. First things first, let's determine our sign. So what is a negative times a positive? Negative. So we know that whenever the signs are different, the product is going to get a negative value. So we have a negative in a box now. We don't have to worry about our sign anymore. The sign goes bye-bye. Now it's just the 8/3 times the 1/4. What common factors do you see between 8 and 1 and 3 and 4? I see that 1 from top, 1 from bottom, always from 1 from top, 1 from bottom, can both be divided by 4. 8 can be divided by 4, and so can 4. So we're going to cancel those by dividing by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now, there's no more common factors. You're just going to multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, and finish strong. 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 times 1 is 3. So ultimately, we know the answer is negative, and it's going to be, in this case, negative 2/3. So you go over to your answer, you put negative, and then space, and then 2/3, and you're good to go. And that's how you do the problems, and hopefully that helps you guys. All right, so let me just turn that off.